Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. This podcast is a conversation between two business partners, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. Join us for a lively conversation about all things interior design, from current projects, trade show experiences, worldwide travel, what's in, what's out, and all the challenges and wins they've had running their successful design business. Whether you're a seasoned interior designer, new to the industry, or a creative enthusiast, you will walk away with insightful information, newfound inspiration, and a smile on your face after listening to these two. And here they are, Joanne and Kelly.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 183 of Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. And today we are talking about the vacation rental design world, the wave of the future. So if you're a designer or creative like us, there's a good chance that you are always on the hunt for the next inspiration, the next creative collaborative effort, or the newest cool kid gang to hang out with. So you probably also love to travel to keep those creative juices flowing. At least we are that way.
Yes,
for sure. So today we are going to be chatting with the cool kids about how vacation rental design is becoming a very exciting, innovative, and profitable trajectory for those of us who want to use our design skills in a new direction. So we want to bring your attention to the upcoming VRD Summit, Vacation Rental Design Summit, coming up April 10th through the 12th in High Point at the infamous High Point Market. It's 2 days, starting the 2 days prior. And we were fortunate to attend the inaugural launch last year, and it was so good. And this year's going to be even better. So we're going to chat all about that.
yes. But before we do, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the High Point Market Authority, the only market that needs no introduction.
Yep.
You know by now that we consider High Point the pinnacle of events in our industry.
Yes.
Where their set and future trends are forecasted. So Spring Market this year is April 13th through the 17th. Registration is now open, not only for market, but for the Vacation Rental Design Summit. If you didn't already know, we are happy to announce that the Goo Goo Dolls will be headliner band for this Sunday night concert.
Awesome.
There's also Nick West. She will be there on Saturday, April 13th.
Yep.
Bunny Williams and Martyn Lawrence Bullard will be among the keynote speakers. So be sure to go to highpointmarket.org to register and get your hotel rooms now.
Do it now, people.
The website is brand new and is a great tool to help you organize your trip. If you've never been to High Point before, feel free to reach out to us with questions or listen to the episodes 158, 166, and 172 for some helpful intel. And also, the High Point Market website has like a customer service line, so you can call and they will answer any of your questions.
It's so good.
It's a really, really good customer service situation that they have.
Yep.
That they have. So, okay.
All right, we're going to dive in. So, welcome, ladies. We've got. We usually don't have this many guests, so this is amazing. We've got our friend Jessica Duce, who is the queen of vacation rental.
You're from Houston, right?
No, not originally.
Well, but where are you located right now?
Well, Houston, Texas. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's where your business is. That's where your business is. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. So then we have Jane Dagmi, who you probably all know by now from her previous work at Designers Today magazine and all she does for High Point XD, and then Ashley Grigg, who is the queen of all that is High Point. So. And I just, it's funny, our kind of like history together. I mean, I remember years ago listening to Luann Nagara's podcast, and Jessica was on, and we were like, who is this completely cool chick that does vacation designs? I mean, who does that? And then we saw her at an event. We were like, there's Jessica.
Yep.
Go talk to her.
Yes, we were total fans. And now we're friends.
Total great friends. And then Jane,
Well, designer experience. That's how we really
Best.
got to know Jane.
Yep.
Which was an event that she put together when she was at Designers Today. So we met her and a lot of other people. And then Ashley, I mean, I've been going to High Point for, God, I'm so embarrassed to say, probably 30 years.
Yeah.
Not that you've been there that long, Ashley, but Ashley has a lot to do with all that happens in High Point.
Yeah. So we've got everybody together to talk about why High Point Market and Vacation Rental Design came together and why it's such a great partnership. So why don't you guys give us some background on kind of like how this was born?
So why don't you start, Jessica, because I think it was your idea, right?
It was my idea. I was at Market, High Point, where magic happens, and I saw Jane at the Universal showroom, and I got the courage to talk to her. We weren't work wives yet, so I went up to her, and she had interviewed me before, so we kind of knew each other, and said, hey, I have this idea. Designers are reaching out to me, wanting more information about how to get into vacation rental design or short-term rentals, and I can't find a summit or an event that can deal with this new exciting category, and I think High Point would be the perfect place to have it. And Jane ran with it, and here we are, and it's been exciting and fun.
All right, so Jane, so when she came to you with this, what was your like immediate thought?
My immediate thought was yes, because I guess from interviewing so many designers over the years, I felt like every designer had a dream of doing a boutique hotel. And to me, vacation rental design is like you get to do your boutique hospitality project and you have so much control over it. You know, whether you are the investor in your own property or working with a client. So I just felt like this is hot. And then I got our board to say yes, to agree. And then we introduced High Point Market to the idea.
So Ashley, were you on board from the beginning or how'd you feel about it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the great things about how big High Point is the product categories. We have a lot of breadth of categories. And so we're constantly focusing on these small groups. It's not just residential furnishings. We were doing a program on hospitality because there's a hospitality lines here. We've worked with NKBA because there's kitchen and bath lines here. And then Jessica comes and shares that the product mix that's here is perfect also for short-term rentals. And so this just made sense.
I love when things just are meant to happen, that it just makes so much sense that it's just a win-win no matter what. And I think that's how I feel kind of about this. And you've only had one, but it was so successful the first time around. And I have a feeling this one's going to be just as good. So there's a couple things that are different this time around. So what, as far as location, well, not location, but size and things, what's the new stuff going on there with that, Jane?
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly the same location. So we are returning to Congdon Yards, which we knew as soon as we said the summit was going to be at Congdon. We just knew that space would delight designers, because you walk in and it's like the industrial loft setting and you start to dream a little bit.
So cool. Yeah.
This year we're doing it on the third floor of that same building, and it's a more luxurious experience. There's a lot of ergonomic seating available, and there are tables that you can sit at and write and just kind of get comfortable. Like you're really in almost the short-term rental, vacation rental university, a little bit like that.
Well, you know what? Comfortable seating and a place to write, because I do know you can always tell a conference is really good when people are writing down so much, because you guys are really teaching so much and there's a lot of notes to take. So the fact that you have a table is a big deal too.
It's so much more comfortable.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. So keep telling us.
So that's one change. Of course, there might be some single seats here and there, but for the most part, we want to make everybody comfortable. But we rented that whole floor. And also on the floor are these great conference rooms. Some of them can hold up to like 28 people. So we're going to do breakout sessions this time.
I love a breakout. I love a breakout.
Yes.
A good breakout. So we got feedback from designers that they, a couple of reasons for breakouts. I mean, I am curious to hear why you love them, but you get to meet people, have a little more, feel like you're in a smaller community. It's a little less intimidating, and you get to just take a little bit of a deeper dive usually into more focused topics. So.
I think it's so good. I mean, because Kelly and I have each other, but if I were a single designer, it puts you next to somebody that you can just talk to just because you're sitting next to them or whatever. Not everybody, some people are kind of shy. And I think it's a great way to get right in a smaller group and start to talk to people and find things that you have in common. So I think the breakouts are a good way to get yourself a little more intimate with other people.
And when everybody's in the... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, but one more thing that we are going to try. So last year, did you come to our opening night party, our launch party at Pandora's Manor?
We did
not. No. Dang it.
It was very good. It was great. It was a beautiful night. But this year,
I want to experience that Pandora's Manor.
Oh, yes, you must. This year we're starting on Wednesday, and we're going to open up our vendor gallery and Congdon Yards for from 9 to 12, and sort of for designers and for those attendees who have, for people that have signed up to come and just see the vendors in the gallery, to network with each other, to just kind of relax and meet people before the actual education starts. And the other thing that we're doing, we're so excited about this, is we're doing a mentor morning. So we're going to have 6 to 8 professionals in the vacation rental world doing a sort of speed dating. So people will be able to sign up to date their favorite professional that morning.
That's really cool. That's very cool.
That's very cool. And that's kind of what I was going to say about when people come together at events like this. I think everybody's in that right headspace where they are ready to network and ready to collaborate and ready to talk. We were just at the CNEX Summit in Cabo, and would I ever in a million years have the opportunity or even the guts to walk up to Miles Redd or Jamie Drake and just start chit-chatting like we were buddies? Never. But we did, because that was kind of the vibe there. And so that's what you're talking about is, when you're sitting at a small networking table with Martyn Lawrence Bullard, you're going to turn over and start talking to him when you would never do that normally. So I think that's fantastic.
So for people that are listening, who's the ideal attendee?
So the ideal attendee, because we're trying to build this community, and Jessica can talk more about community, but because she found the need really to build one. It's designers who are wanting to go into that business and they don't know how, to much more seasoned designers. So that just want to find and meet new people in their community, maybe hear something again. I mean, I don't know about you, but every time I hear a talk on branding or marketing, it's like I get fresh ideas. So I think it's never wrong to just put yourself into a community of people that are like-minded and love the same sort of work. And then, so interior designers, obviously, and that's the bulk of who signs up. And then we have property managers as well. We have realtors. We have other professionals in the hospitality industry. So yes.
I'm assuming that because it all sounds very fabulous and enticing and so forth, but I would bet that vacation rental design is kind of on the line of podcast production. It's much more intense and laborious and expensive, and there's a lot to learn out there than you might think just coming in as a novice. Am I correct?
Yes. I wanted to add on to what Jane said, because you are spot on. When I've been really active with Jane for interviewing the potential educators at the conference, and we are meeting people, because I've been doing this since 2015, and we are meeting people that are doing amazing things, that want to share their expertise and knowledge that I look forward to hearing and learning from. So it's very exciting how exponential the growth is, as well as the profit margins, which is a big part of why we're doing this. Ordinary is not profitable. But I totally agree with you on the podcast. We call ourselves scrappy. I'm not saying you're scrappy, but it's it's fast, it's a lot of work, and then you put on the show and
well, people think, I'm going to grab my iPhone and I'm going to do a podcast and throw it out there. And I would imagine, people might think, oh, well, I have a second home and I'm not there that much. So I'm going to rent it and I'm just going to throw it on, Verbo. And that's not what we're talking here. It's a different ball of wax.
Well, the other thing too is not all vacation rentals are, like you said, ordinary. There are some super high end properties. And I know there's so much competition when people are scrolling and looking. And I think a well-designed, I mean, when I'm looking through the photos, if I see like a gold wall with a valance, I'm out. Like, no. But then as you're scrolling along and you see beautiful photography, like I know you probably talk all about that thing, all those things that make it, a different and make it stand out amongst the others, because there is so much competition. I'm sure.
Yeah, we literally call it stop the scroll when we're educating an owner or a property manager, because that's the goal. That the most unique tool you have in your toolbox for your vacation rental is your design. That's literally the only thing that you can make stand out. You don't talk about pricing, location. All of your competition has the exact same, but your design is the one tool in your toolbox that makes you unique.
So what other topics, are going to be talked about, and like who are the speakers?
Should I take that? I'll start
for it.
Sure.
So our total list has not been confirmed yet. We are still interviewing people, but we have some. I'll tell you what's been really cool. The first time that we did the summit, all of our contacts are in the design world. And this year we had professionals and that speak at tons of conferences around the world come to us and say, we'd like to speak at your summit. And those people are in the short-term rental industry. They're not part of the High Point community that we know and love, right? So that's been really cool. So we're going to, there are a couple of fundamentals in this space that we didn't quite get to last year. We didn't get to them depth-wise. For example, we are going to have, he's kind of known as like the king of safety. His name is Justin Ford. And he talks about safety in Airbnbs, in rentals, excuse me.
Yeah.
That, so many different types of people rent things and everybody lives differently. And so you have to design with sort of, their standards and the fundamentals. So he's going to speak, and we're really excited about that. We've got this other cool guy that is knows all about housekeeping. And, Jessica, if she can talk about housekeeping and design and how you've got to make those housekeepers your friends and you can't piss them off, right? So he's going to talk, and I hear he brings like candy, and he's very animated, and he's coming from Washington State. He is the VP of hospitality of a great rental community out there. So those are two people that are real cool. And then Tyann Marsink, I don't know if you had a chance to meet her last year. She is the queen of TouchStay. TouchStay is a digital app that, if you have a property, right? So Tyann will come back, and she's part of our sort of core team to helping shape the content. So she'll have a role as well. And then Jess, do you want to talk about some of the designers that we're
my gosh, there's so many. I wanted to share another person that's going to be there and talking and is on our advisory council is Nikki Watson. And she's a luxury stager out of Dallas, but she's also on HGTV's Zombie House Flipping. And she has a really cool story, and she's doing something like 300 rentals a month. It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing.
Oh my God.
So I'm really excited to hear her. We spoke with, Jane. There's so many. Yes, thank you. Nikki's amazing.
Yeah, Nikki's awesome. She's like the preeminent stager, in the U.S. She's a powerhouse. Paula Oblin, who was there. Did you meet Paula last year?
We know Paula. We knew Paula before then. We met Paula when we were in Vegas for that mastermind. Yes, I love her.
Okay. Yeah, so Paula is returning, and she just finished an incredibly beautiful property out in the desert in California. So Paula will be joining us again. She's also part of our team. It's so cool, the people that reach out to us. I'm going to just make one more person that I'm kind of obsessed with. Her name is Janice Wilson. She has created a property that's not yet open, yet there is a long wait list of people already wanting to stay. And it's in Washington State. It's on the water. It's like sort of glamping meets tiny home concept. And it's moody and green. And it's just, it's like Twin Forks. It's like cool.
Yeah. That's
and
so
she's
cool.
also a tech. She's like a tech nerd, and so her whole thing of layering in smart home for the guest experience in these super off the beaten path places. Again, it's ordinary isn't profitable. What she's creating,
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and then I'm sure you get into the whole profitability part of it and the kind of products you need. I mean, we could. Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, that reminds me, and this might be a question for Ashley. I'm not sure, but we do a lot of multifamily design, and we have found that when it's a whole different focus for us in terms of products and manufacturers. Our residential, pool of regulars can't always accommodate us for the furniture and the durability that we need for especially some of our clubhouses, a lot of our office spaces.
I mean, not to be mean, but these people beat this.
Oh, God. Yeah. And I'm sure
that's
the story of vacation rental. So I'm curious from a High Point standard, how this is probably this summit's probably just, it's just a great partnership because I think it puts not some pressure, but a new angle for High Point to kind of realize, wow, like we have a whole bunch of hospitality people coming as well. And that's been hard for us trying to find new manufacturers because we're like, should we go to Neocon? Like, where do we find, these products?
And I know, Ashley, part of your job and the job of High Point is to bring people to market. So I'm sure this is kind of a whole nother demographic of people that can come and know that they can find that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
And then after the summit, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, the fun part is this product mix already existed here in High Point. I think that, I mean, that's one thing I hear all the time from the buyers that are coming is one thing that's unique to High Point is because we have 12 million square feet, because the showrooms can be so much larger, you're not condensed to just a few buildings. It's 13 city blocks. So when the manufacturers come and they exhibit here, it's much larger showrooms. And so they're going to be able to show more of their product line and they're going to show their residential line, but also their hospitality line if they have it. And so that product mix was already here. This is a different way for us to talk about it, but then also call it out. So what products are here in High Point that is very relevant to when you're looking at that commercial project or that rental project where they're not going to care as much about the life of the sofa, they're just going to be rough on it for the week that they're there. And so it's been great. It's a new opportunity. And I do love that we're able to put this summit right before market dates. So you can still come and do exactly what you need to do for market, but you're going to get this in a package. So you only have to travel once. You're going to be able to do the summit. And then that's going to wrap up on, midday on Friday. Then you've still got market for 5 days. So you can do all of your sourcing, all the events. You're not missing anything. You're just being able to add on to your High Point experience.
Well, that's so great because if you haven't done rental design before and you want to, you wouldn't know maybe about a lot of these manufacturers. So it's so great. Not only going to get to learn all those things, but you're going to be able to go visit those manufacturers and learn about that product and how it's different than it is in residential.
Yeah.
I always feel like an Airbnb or a vacation rental is almost like us doing model homes. We love to do the model homes because it's not that it's necessarily a theme, but you can do things that are memorable. And then I'm sure what we haven't touched on, not even just the design, is the experience. And that's what people want is the experience.
Can I just add a plug again about High Point really quick after what Ashley said? Is that when I first started doing this, I immediately went to BDNY because you mentioned Neocon, and I went to Vegas and I went to High Point, and High Point, the brands there were so much more responsive to this unique category of design back in 2015, 2016, and embraced it and wanted to have conversations. So that's why I think it's so valuable to be a partner with High Point. They're the ones that are actually like, okay, tell me more. And that was the only market I had that experience with at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys are also open-minded and that's what we've always loved about High Point Market. High Point Market was one of the first sponsors of our podcast because they saw the power of podcast marketing when we're talking to other big brands that are kind of like, what, and so, but we still, get to market and kind of like Ashley was saying, these manufacturers, want to be, or, it's your guys' goal to kind of call them out and bring attention to it and lead people in that direction. And I think another reason why the summit is important, I'm speaking for us from a hospitality standpoint, not even because we haven't even entered vacation rentals yet, and it's probably in our future, is being able to be with those people to say, well, who do you use for sofas and flooring and sheeting, and who do you use that that'll last the test of time or be disposable or I can use for a year or two.
I have to say, every conference, every event that we've gone to, we've always learned. There's always something we've learned, whether it be something we put into action right away or maybe a year or two later. Yep. And the people that we've met that help us along 100%. The way. So I feel like I said, it's a win-win for you all who can really share what you know. It's a win for High Point Market because you're bringing more people, and I'm sure their vendors are very happy that they're getting some new kind of people in there. So I think just all the way around, it's just great, really, for everybody.
Well, I have to be very transparent with you guys and tell you that when you guys first launched this last year, my very first thought was, I don't think I want to. I don't know if I'm interested in vacation rental design because I don't. That sounds like a huge, pain in the butt. And what I learned from coming is that it's a big, huge umbrella of design. And actually, there are a lot of super, super luxurious, high-end vacation rentals. And even though they're a rental, does not mean it's your kind of scrappy little cabin in the woods or your tiny little beachfront condo that has like semi design. Like there's a lot out there. And we were, again, when we were at CNext, the summit in Cabo,
Barclay Butera.
Thank you. Barclay, who spoke last year for you guys, was there talking about this $1 million home that he's building on a cliffside in Cabo that is going to rent for $100,000 a week. And he was there with his architect speaking about the whole design and showing it. And I was like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful structure I have ever seen in my life. It had 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms.
Yeah, on a cliff. It was
unbelievable. And I'm thinking, they're onto something. This is this summit is a big deal.
And people I don't really, if I'm going somewhere for any length of time, I don't really like to stay in a hotel. I would really rather stay. And then there's all that, but I know we need to talk about this because it's such a big deal. When you are, trying to sleep a lot of people, bunk beds are a big deal. And I know, Jessica, you have a story about the bunk beds because people hate to make bunk beds. So the housekeepers do have
I cussed my mom when she had put
that
8 bunk beds in her.
Smart and sassy Jessica came up with something.
Yes, I am team bunk bed for sure. And we had done a rental in Newport, Oregon, and I really wanted this cool looking bunk bed feature. And to appease everybody, the craftsman and I figured out a way where there's a secret lock on the bars, on the rails on the side of the bunk, and only housekeeping knows how to undo it. And it drops down after the guests leave, and they can quickly change the top bunk. And there's your stairs to go up to the top bunk with this secret lock. Those pop off, and it's really easy to do the bottom bunk. And I wish I could tell you I invented the whole thing, but I didn't, but I utilized it.
Oh, I was going to say, have you patented this already? And are you headed towards retirement with your riches? Because that is amazing.
I missed that window.
Yeah.
But it's the little details like that. Even if you walk away from the summit learning that one thing, it's really it's a really big deal. The little details really matter.
The other thing that I'm having all these memories of last year is when, and I don't remember who was talking about it, but they were talking about some kind of ethnic driven
the chopsticks,
luxuries like the chopsticks in the kitchen or the little things that if if that was kind of your jam or how you cook or where you came from or whatever, and you walked into a vacation rental and that was there for you, would you not flip out?
Yeah. The other thing I remember is the woman who talked about people in wheelchairs and accessibility. So I mean, I was mesmerized by that in itself is such a big deal. She was amazing. So yeah, I mean, I remember there were so many things that you don't know what you don't know. And I think that this is such a great idea. And I think you guys are going to be rocking it again.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So, so Jessica, you said that you guys have these great speakers and you're still learning, and kind of like, you've been doing this for a long time. What do you see for the future of vacation rentals? I mean, how are you kind of changing or are you changing kind of how you approach this facet of this segment of your business?
Well, I think there's still a lot of work to do. I think there's a lot of properties out there that need some elevation and to educate owners on the power of elevating your rental. But I also see, and to your point about one of your speakers, because of her talk at our last summit, we incorporated our first ADA bedroom into our newest property that we're designing right now. And we were able to educate the owners that they were the only ADA property in the area, and their rental will go up. Their search Airbnb, VRBO have changed their filters so you can look for those directly. So that type of education is huge. But I'm also seeing a real interest in designers taking this education from short-term rental design and using this to retirement communities and aging in place communities, things like that. There's a lot of what we're learning here that I think we can transition into other areas. So
absolutely.
There's just so much room to grow. It's amazing. I'm excited. I love it.
And I know you're really good about working with your owners and knowing kind of exactly what they want and then building, on their properties. But I'm assuming you also have quite a bit of attendees who are maybe considering being the owner themselves, where the designer buys an extra home or two and then designs it and rents it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what I want to express this summit. We've really taken to heart our feedback from last year and what we've learned in the last year. So the education is geared, yes, if you're interested and you want to get your feet wet, all the way to, I have 30 properties and I want to do more. I want to up level even that, and going from there. So we have a lot of designers that, like you said, want to buy into this category, create their personal boutique, or even to investors that say, I need to up level all of this, valuable real estate I have, and I need designers to help me. That's amazing.
Another way to diversify your business,
Mm-hmm. Do you guys work with Airbnb and Vrbo and other companies like that directly? Are you in communications with them, or
if email counts?
We're trying to make inroads. I think little by little we're getting recognized. If you go, in fact, today Jessica and I have a call later with the Vacation Rental Management Association, which is a huge organization that presides over the short-term rental industry. And when they, right now, presently on their website, when they talk about their community, they don't even list designers. So we are making, we are little by little, we're very grassroots, very organic. And maybe at the next summit, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We're right trying.
Now. Trying.
We talk a lot about different avenues and streams of income, and I think if you've been in business through a recession or two and COVID, you've kind of learned the power of this, and so I think it's important to really realize that the profitability of vacation rental is a huge topic, and I just want to remind everybody of that. And if you are creative in any way, like you said, manufacturer, contractor, property manager, property owner, designer, this all.
Well, I think the other thing too
applies to you.
I think. It was always, but I think since COVID, how many people do you know that were working from home that said, well, we're working from home anyway. Let's go stay at a beach house in Rosemary Beach
kids.
while I'm working. And so a lot of people just to get out of their house, were renting places for a month just to get away. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot of that.
I traveled throughout all of COVID because we were so busy. Our business exploded during COVID because owners realized how many more amenities and opportunities they needed to add to their rentals.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's just it too. Like,
I love that.
The multifamily that we work in, there is a lot of competition. There's a lot of luxury apartments here in Atlanta, and a lot of it is the amenities that make a difference. And so even I know there's been some rentals where they have a chef come in, and so like all the experiences too. So I think, all these little things that you can add will put you at the top of the list and stop the scroll.
I love that, stop the scroll, but you don't know what you don't know, and that's why. We're always encouraging people on this show to step out and sign up for conferences and sign up for summits and put yourself out there and go network with people and learn new things, because it is the only way. If you stay in your bubble, you are dead. Dead in the water.
The other nice thing about this is because it's right before High Point and someone's already going. You're already staying in a hotel. You're already going there. You're taking maybe a couple more days away from your business, but it's not like you're having to travel somewhere else. Like you have to, you combine that time together, which I think is so smart too.
Yeah. So you guys, I would imagine you're going to sell out, because it is kind of an intimate setting and people need to go and register pretty quick, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
How many attendees?
We're expecting, I'd say, roughly 150.
That's a good number.
That's good, but it's not a lot.
That includes speakers as well. Right,
Yeah,
it's
it's a good number.
Last year. It's more boutique.
That's good.
I don't know if you remember last year, the lunch times were a little little kind of crazy, and we just thought, this is enough. This is an audience that really wants to be there, and
well, that's smart. You're doing it. And you guys did a survey or whatever, and listen to all the feedback.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. Not everybody does that.
So people can go and register. Well, first of all, if you haven't already registered for High Point Market in general, you need to go to highpointmarket.org and do so like right when this show ends and get your hotels now, or you'll be staying in Timbuktu or not staying anywhere.
I'm sure there's some Airbnbs and rentals in High Point.
That's right.
Wasn't High Point the original rentals because they didn't have enough hotels? And so people were renting out their houses. I remember going to market 25 years ago, and our fabric rep rented out his house. He said him, his wife, and his family moved out of his house, lived with his mother-in-law for that 10 days. I think Bernhard or somebody rented his house. And he said he was able to put his kids in private school for the year based on what he made during that time that he gave up his house.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you love local, we do have some private home rental companies that are based here in High Point. You don't even have to go through the big sites if you don't want to.
Okay.
Yes. That's awesome.
Good to know.
So what's the best way, you guys, to register for the summit? To go through HPXD or go through High Point Market, or is there a bunch of ways?
You can get there both
register
ways.
For this. Yeah, you can get either way. If you register for the summit, High Point Market Authority, they do our registration. So then if you have all the right credentials, you are automatically registered for market. So it's hpxd.org and then the Vacation Rental Design Summit tab.
So if someone's not already registered with High Point Market, they need to go ahead and get registered as a buyer.
Yes, it's any pass for market qualifies you to attend the summit. So you can do it either way, because we're going to double check. You need your market pass in order to attend the summit, because the summit is trade only, but also because on Friday there's going to be tours of the showrooms. And so you can register for market and then get your ticket for the summit, or vice versa. If you register for your ticket for the summit, we're going to double check and reach out to you anyways to get you registered for market.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So before we close, you guys, this has been so awesome. I'm so excited. Spring Market's going to rock. We have to have our funny and serious quote, because that's what we do. I'll do the funny one because I'm the dog lover.
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Dogs are cool. Because you can be like, hey, do you want to lay on the couch and watch TV for 8 hours and not say any words? We can just be by each other. And every single time they're like, you bet your ass I do. That is my dogs. I could binge for an entire weekend and they would never leave my side. Yep. Happy as clams.
Okay, so the serious quote, this is from this Topher Kirby, Kearby. I've been seeing him come up on Instagram, and he says so many great things. Yes. So this one is, let's make this life wild and interesting. Let's go places we've never been and do things we've never done. Let's have experiences that will change the way we see everything forever. Let's do it all. Let's live it all. Let's make our lives truly an adventure.
Perfection. Let's go on vacation.
It sounds like it was picked out for us.
I know. It was. So good.
So anyway, thank you, High Point Market Authority, for your sponsorship. And hopefully you're now inspired to head over to market 2 days early to attend the summit. Once again, go to hbxd.org/VRD-summit to register. Tickets are only $4.79 and they will sell out.
Yeah.
So you can also follow these cool friends of ours at VRD Summit on Instagram.
Yep. So you guys, we're so happy to be calling you friends and so happy for this big launching, amazing deal that you've put together. And
very proud of you guys.
Very proud.
And very proud to be your friends for sure.
Thank you.
It's going to be great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Back at you.
So, thanks for joining us and thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
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 Join Joanne and Kelly for a new episode every other Friday as they continue to explore the nuances of the interior design business with the goal of informing, inspiring, and entertaining their listeners. See their work at Kandrak-Cole.com. and engage with them on Facebook and Instagram at Kandrak Cole.